Movie review, American Sniper. Wow, this has been a really controversial film this year. I think one thing people just hopefully can admit, regardless of what side you are, politically, how you feel about war, this is a great movie. Let's say it wasn't true and someone just made this up. It's a great movie. It's so well acted. It's so well written. It's so well directed. It's fantastic. I personally love this movie. I support this movie. There, I said it. This movie, American Sniper, was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Screenplay, and Best Actor in a Leading Role by Bradley Cooper, who is amazing. I like to read about actors and see what they do to prepare for roles like this. And he had to gain like 40 pounds. He had to get that Texas accent, which is where I'm from, and he nailed it. And he said he just kind of threw himself into Chris Kyle and met the family and all of that. I do have some interesting connections with Chris Kyle. One of my best friends is best friends with his widow. My ex-boyfriend in college, his brother was business partners with Chris Kyle when all of this happened. So I tend to have maybe a place in my heart and for this sort of thing. And the movie was just fantastic. And like I said, I think it was done from the point of view of, can you imagine having to kill 160 people? But that's your flippin' job. And everybody makes a big deal about, well, you know, he said he would have killed more. Yeah, if I was standing on a roof and I'm watching my family or my best friends or the people that I'm in this with together and that's what I'm supposed to do, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect my family if I am that good. And guess what? There's snipers up there shooting at us, right? Right. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that. I've probably talked more. You can add your comments. It's all fine. All I'm saying is this is such a well-crafted movie. People in the military really, really said that this is, you know, a real, true account of this war. And even some of the soldiers have said, you know what, this is not the war that I fought. They understand that it's his truth and that it was truth. And that's what's going on. If you don't know the story of Chris Kyle, and he wrote a book called American Sniper, it's fun to see how it all started. He really just wanted to be a cowboy, and that's what he did. He was a cowboy. He rode horses and broncs, and finally around age 30 just realized, you know what, this is no life for me, and decided that he wanted to do something different after 9/11 and the terrorism, and so he decided he was going to be a Navy SEAL. Navy SEALs are badass. They're more badass than cowboys, I think. And marries the love of his life and then finds out, lo and behold, he's doing his first tour of Iraq. I especially like the parts about how he tries to return to a civilian life and the war's still going on. I mean, he would go and work 100 days and then he'd come home for a couple months and he'd go work a couple 100 days and come home. So it's not like, oh, the war ended and now I'm home. I think people tend to forget that when they're talking about the PTSD and kind of integrating yourself in society. It's like, well, my job's done and now I'm home and let's figure out how this is going to go. No, I just left, you know, hundreds of guys back there that I know and care for and work with, and I'm here going to the movie or going to a drive-through, in and out, trying to have a normal birthday party with my kids, and you know, every noise triggers them. If it sounds something loud, I think there's this guilt feeling and also this protection feeling. It was just great. All I can do is recommend this movie, you know, a 10,000%. Hopefully people will be able to look back and say, hey, this is our apocalypse now. You know, this is our deer hunter. And I just got to say, you know, Clint Eastwood at 80-something years old has got it going on. That man is so talented. He did an amazing job. The family of Chris Kyle and his friends and the people that served with him thought he did a great job. And I think that's a true testament to how he works and what he does with films like this that touch your heart. And he got the uniforms right. He got the production design right. He got the trucks right. All of that stuff, just down to the nitty gritty. One of my favorite interesting facts that I found out was the guy that was actually served with Chris Kyle, who was brought on the film to be a consultant, I guess was eating dinner with Bradley Cooper one night, and Bradley was like, man, you got to be in this film. I'm going to talk to Eastwood or Clint, or Dirty Harry, whatever you want to call him, and you got to be in this. And the guy is great. I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. I hope you do too. It'll be very interesting to see what's happening with the Oscars. I'm excited about that. And Bradley Cooper was amazing. It's definitely one of my favorite films of the year, and I think it deserves all of the kudos that it's getting. And hey, movies are supposed to make you think. They're supposed to start a dialogue. I love that. So depending on whatever side you're on, I think it's worth going and watching so that you can talk intelligently about what's going on. American Sniper. Peace.